There's something approaching the sun, something that came from beyond, from billions of kilometers past anywhere we know. And when NASA's telescopes began tracking this cosmic visitor, they realized it wasn't behaving as it should. Its name, 3I Atlas, and it might be the strangest comet humanity has ever detected. Before we dive into this mystery, subscribe and hit the bell, because what comes next, you won't want to miss. The story begins on July 1st, 2025, when an automated telescope in Chile, part of the Atlas Asteroid Survey System, registers a faint point of light moving across the sky. It wasn't a star, it wasn't an ordinary asteroid, it was something different, very different. Within just 24 hours, preliminary calculations revealed the unthinkable. This object's orbit wasn't closed, but hyperbolic. It wasn't born here. It came from another star system, crossing the interstellar void for millions, perhaps billions of years, until finally crossing paths with our Sun. The scientific community officially named it 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar object to visit our solar system. The first was Oumuamua in 2017, that elongated body that sparked speculation about alien spacecraft. The second was 2I Borisov in 2019, a more traditional comet, but still exotic. But 3I Atlas, it's different. It's faster, brighter, and much, much more mysterious. Right from the first weeks of observation, something catches astronomers' attention. The comet was already active, far too distant from the Sun. Most comets only begin releasing gas and dust when they get close enough for solar heat to melt their frozen surfaces, typically within Jupiter's orbit. But 3I Atlas was shining intensely still beyond that distance, as if something inside it was being awakened ahead of time. And it wasn't just the brightness, the color was strange too, greenish-gray, a hue suggesting the presence of carbide molecules, different from those found in any other comet ever studied, as if it carried with it the chemistry of a place completely different from ours. And this is where things get really strange. In August 2025, the Hubble Space Telescope begins capturing detailed images of the visitor, and what scientists see defies everything they know about comets. Instead of expelling dust and gas in the direction opposite the Sun, as all comets do, pushed by the solar wind, 3I Atlas was launching a jet of material directly toward the Sun. An anti-tail. This phenomenon is extremely rare, seen only in a handful of comets throughout history, and never with this intensity. The plume of dust, visible as a luminous fan emerging from the icy nucleus, pointed toward the star, defying the physics we know. How was this possible? The official explanation, larger particles, which aren't easily pushed by solar radiation pressure, follow the comet's orbital trajectory, creating this optical illusion of an inverted tail. But this explanation doesn't calm the scientists, because there's something more, something they can't explain. But what happened next left scientists in shock. In October 2025, as 3I Atlas approached Mars, NASA instruments detected something that shouldn't be possible. The comet paused. It simply stopped moving relative to background stars for several days, an abrupt halt in a hyperbolic trajectory, where kinetic energy should keep the object in constant motion. The laws of physics don't allow this, and yet, there it was, suspended in space, about 27 million kilometers from the red planet. Martian probes recorded gas emissions during this proximity, sudden variations in luminosity, changes in the tail's orientation. NASA confirmed there were no instrumental failures. The phenomenon was real, and nobody can explain it. Do you believe this could be coincidence? Comment below what you think, because the story doesn't stop there. When scientists from the James Webb Space Telescope analyzed the chemical composition of 3I Atlas, they discovered something even more disturbing. The ratio between carbon dioxide and water was 8:1. That's 8 times more CO2 than water, one of the highest concentrations ever recorded in any comet. Additionally, the comet showed elevated levels of nickel relative to iron, an atypical metallic signature suggesting formation processes completely different from comets in our solar system. And there's more. The light reflected by the comet's coma showed pronounced negative polarization, something never observed with such intensity in another celestial body. It's as if 3I Atlas's dust had unprecedented shapes and sizes, a structure that doesn't fit known patterns. Then enters Professor Avi Loeb, Harvard astrophysicist and one of the most provocative minds in modern science. Loeb, who had already suggested that Oumuamua could be an alien probe, made waves again. He publicly stated that he assigns a 30 to 40% probability that 3I Atlas doesn't have a natural origin. According to him, the comet's behavior is consistent with an Oberth maneuver, a space engineering technique where a spacecraft accelerates or changes direction by taking advantage of a massive celestial body's gravity. And the critical date, October 29, 2025, when the comet will reach perihelion, the closest point to the Sun. Loeb was emphatic. If you want to take a vacation, do it before October 29th, because nobody knows what might happen. The statement caused a stir, feeding theories that 3I Atlas could be a disguised technological structure, a probe sent from another star system to observe ours. If it were an intelligent signal, how would you react? The scientific community is divided. For many astronomers, including Tom Statler, NASA's chief scientist for small solar system bodies, the case is clear. It looks like a comet. It does comet things. Recent observations from NASA's SPHEREX detected clear signatures of carbon dioxide in 3I Atlas's coma, confirming it's releasing gas and dust in a manner consistent with cometary activity. Hubble images showed the comet's nucleus is between 0.6 and 5.6 kilometers in diameter, an absolutely common size for a comet. And the trajectory? Well defined, with no risk of collision with Earth. The comet will remain at least 270 million kilometers from our planet, almost twice the distance between Earth and the Sun. But even so, something doesn't fit, because there's a precedent. In 2019, the interstellar comet 2I Borisov visited our solar system. It also came from outside. It also intrigued scientists, and it also presented anomalies that NASA couldn't fully explain. Observations from ALMA, the powerful radio telescope in the Atacama Desert, revealed that 2I Borisov had carbon monoxide concentrations between 9 and 26 times higher than solar system comets. It was as if it had formed in an extremely cold environment, much farther from its parent star than the comets we know. And then, in March 2020, something dramatic happened. Borisov disintegrated. Hubble images captured the moment when the comet's nucleus split into 2 fragments, separated by about 180 kilometers, before continuing to gradually fragment. The Sun's heat, rotation accelerated by sublimating ices, centripetal instability. Everything conspired to destroy the interstellar visitor. But before disappearing forever, Borisov revealed something fascinating. Its chemical composition was surprisingly similar to solar system comets, suggesting that planetary formation processes may follow universal rules even in distant star systems. And now, 3I Atlas is following the same path. It's approaching perihelion, just 203 million kilometers from the Sun, between Earth's and Mars's orbits, and scientists are wondering, will it survive? Or Like Borisov, will it shatter under the heat and pressure, releasing its deepest secrets as it breaks apart? NASA has quietly activated its International Asteroid Warning Network, Panicking IAWN, to monitor 3I Atlas. For the first time in history, an interstellar object has been included on a planetary defense watch list. The agency justified the decision, saying the comet presents unique challenges in predicting its trajectory, with movements and light emissions that deviate from typical comet behavior. And it scheduled an international tracking exercise between November 27, 2025 and January 27, 2026, involving telescopes on different continents. Officially, it's to refine astrometric methods. But many wonder, when all the telescopes on the planet point to the same spot in space, is it really just an exercise? But there's a detail nobody's talking about. When 3I Atlas passes behind the Sun at the end of October, it will disappear from our telescopes for weeks. It will be hidden, protected from Earth's watchful eyes by the Sun's own luminosity. And some scientists, including Loeb, point out that this would be the perfect moment to perform a secret trajectory correction if the object were under intelligent control. Is this speculation? Of course, but it's speculation that makes you think. Because 3I Atlas isn't just grazing past the solar system, it's sliding almost perfectly along the planetary plane, passing near Jupiter, Mars, and Venus. A route that seems calculated. A route that would allow gravitational assist maneuvers. What if this isn't a comet? What if it's something more? The truth is, we still don't know. And maybe we never will know for certain. But what we do know is this. 3I Atlas is a cosmic messenger. It carries with it the chemistry of another place, the memory of another star system, perhaps even the ingredients of life from worlds we'll never see. It traveled for millions, perhaps billions of years, through the cold, dark void of interstellar space, until finally crossing our path. And now, as it approaches the Sun, it's giving us a rare opportunity, a window to understand how other planetary systems form, how comets transport water and organic compounds between stars, how life might spread throughout the galaxy. Or, who knows, it's giving us something more, a message, a signal, proof that we're not alone. On October 29th, 3I or Atlas will reach perihelion, and the entire world will be watching. Telescopes on Earth, probes on Mars, Hubble, James Webb, all turned toward that tiny point of light in the sky, waiting to see what happens, waiting to see if it survives, waiting to see if it finally reveals its true nature. Because so far, despite all the technology, all the data, all the observation, NASA hasn't been able to fully explain 3I Atlas's anomalies. And this uncertainty, this mystery, is what makes this visitor so fascinating. It reminds us that the universe is still immense, unknown, and full of surprises. That even with all our science, there are still things out there we don't understand. Things that challenge our theories. Things that force us to rethink everything we thought we knew. If this mystery held you until here, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of this journey. Because 3I Atlas may be leaving our solar system, but the story it tells us is only beginning. And who knows, maybe one day, when we look back, we'll realize that this strange comet, this visitor from another star system, was the first of many. The first proof that the universe is more connected than we imagine. That distant worlds can touch us, even separated by light years. That life, chemistry, the building blocks of existence, travel between the stars, seeding new worlds, creating new stories. And we, here on Earth, are just one of those stories. But what an incredible story, right? The universe is full of unanswered questions, and here we go after all of them.